Without further ado, I'd like to present, ladies and gentlemen, to you the president of Jim Doyle and Associates, Mr. John Hannon.
All right, right away I can see that side's a little more talented than this side. I'm just saying. Got the rhythm. All right. Woo! 2018 Sales Managers High Performance Boot Camp. Welcome. This 100% without a doubt is my favorite time of the every other year at Jim Doyle and Associates. I mean, you guys are just fabulous to come and spend your weekend with us, to pump you guys up and get ready for what faces you back at home, right? Let me tell you what you're going to experience while you're here. Some of you forgot to take off your pirate hats, and I see people in the hallway walking around going, "Arr!" Gasparilla this weekend. Did anyone partake? They were in the hallways about 3 a.m., I'll tell you that much. So if Gasparilla is not your style, if it's a little too much for you, it is for me, maybe you might swing on down the road to the Kumquat Festival. I have no clue. I'd like somebody to explain it to me, if you would. It is a big-time All-Star weekend. We have the All-Star hockey game going on. The NHL is here. I understand Kid Rock is going to sing tonight as well. So that's a pretty big deal here in Tampa. We have just down the road the Pro Bowl. All of the NFL All-Star folks, players in Orlando. And yet, here we have these All-Stars. Why do I think you're the best of the best of the best? Well, number one, because you're sitting here. If you weren't the best in your markets, the best for your stations, the best for your companies, somebody else would be here in place of you, right? So the reality is, as we sit among 170 folks over the next 2.5 days, you are the absolute best of the best of the best. And with that in mind, there seems to be an all-star weekend theme, given the events between Orlando and here. So I decided maybe I'll take some liberties with the logo. Here's the change, right? Many years ago, gosh, it had to be the early to mid 2000s when I attended my first boot camp. I was just like you. So apparently you have to attend boot camp before you get hired. But so I was just like you. It amazed me, the network of folks that you get to speak with. It amazes me how all the problems, the competition, and the issues of the day kind of go to the wayside, and you can really lock in and meet some quality individuals. I was blown away because a gentleman, I remember he was from Colorado Springs. I don't remember his name. It's been so many years ago. But I remember I had to slip out for one of those corporate calls. So I missed a particular speaker who happened to pass out a book. When I came back, the gentleman next to me from Colorado Springs had secured a book for me and written a little note to the side for me. Thought you might like this, didn't want you to miss out. I just met him. How cool is that? I'm convinced those same individuals are in this room. And in fact, in the interest of peace be with you, on Sunday morning, I have a challenge right out of the chute for you. What I want you to do is look at somebody that you don't know and say hello. Oh, you guys are on top of it. Introduce yourself, because to be fair, you might be working for them in about 6 years. Man, I tell you what, I can immediately point out the different religions. The Southern Baptists came from way over here and went up here to say hello. Right? You know what I did here? I just overheard very, and I was guilty of it too. This is what you guys are telling each other that's going on in the office while you're here, right? This is your staff. This is your staff, right? But to be fair, turnabout here, this is what your staff thinks you're here doing. Captain Pat and Captain Tom available for excursions starting Thursday, okay? Look, I've got some good news, I got some bad news. Don't shoot me, I'm just the messenger. Here's the good news. You left this behind. Now the bad news. This is probably the only beach you're going to see on this trip. because we are going to be plowing. You are going to be, I am blown away. Did you see the slate of speakers? You look on the front cover there, not present company included, but you look at the slate of speakers. We have blown out the doors, spared no expense. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. We're digging into the cores, the pillars of recruiting, of new business, building your team, the things that we always have to talk about year after year after year that don't seem to get fixed, but they're going to get fixed after this, aren't they? Absolutely. I promise you that. So here's the deal. You're going to see some faces up here from the Jim Doyle and Associates team. You'll also see some faces around the building and in the crowd. I want to introduce those folks to you. Matt Snelson, our digital media manager, is in the back. He's all things camera, all things digital, all things media. So you'll see him walking around. He also is probably the proudest guy with golf shirts because he's got a different color for every day. And that's all he wears is our golf shirt. So Elaine Lunkus is where? Where? Elaine. Elaine is the VP of Client Programs. Many of you know Elaine as All Things Doyle On Demand. So this is your chance while you're here, should you have Doyle On Demand questions, issues, you want to schedule a little pump for your sales staff to get them going again, see Elaine. She'll be able to help you out. Ann Fowler, where's Ann Fowler? Ann Fowler is our VP of Sales and Distribution. Ann handles, obviously, all things sales. So you look at products, you look at some of the stuff, you talk to some of your friends that are now friends, soon to be friends at your tables, and you say, hey, I'd kind of like to get involved in that. I'd kind of like to see how that could help our staff. Ann is your go-to. Last but not least, Sue. Where is Sue Textor? Sue, there she is. Guys, I got to tell you, there's always somebody who is the glue, and Sue is the glue at this event. There is no way in the world, and I'm sure many of you had spoken to her through reservations or what have you, there's no way in the world this event could take place without Sue's help, her professionalism, and her handling of the hotel and the event space. So thank you. I just saw coming in, a surprise to me. J-Mac, can you stand J-Mac? Jared McConico, ladies and gentlemen. Jared is one of our 10 senior marketing consultants. I guess no work this week, so you just decided to show up, huh? He wanted to get away from the cold weather, decided to come here in Tampa and hang out. So a lot of you know Jared as well. So here's the deal, guys. The stuff that we're going to talk about is feet on the street stuff. I was so pleased last night to hear from somebody, you guys, you talk about real world stuff. You don't bring in this Harvard research and say, this is how you should do it. And that's what we believe. We're on the street with your folks. We're on the street with you. So the information that you're going to gather, the information we're going to share, the content you're going to dig into is real world on the street stuff. But we recognize we don't have that opportunity to gather that information without your confidence in us. So thank you so much for your confidence in what we do. Thank you to your companies, your corporate entities, for believing in you through us. With that, let's do a little house cleaning if we may. I always struggle on the house cleaning stuff because I like to talk about cool stuff. House cleaning doesn't appeal to me. Housekeeping. The inside back cover of your book, by the way, is where we have our products. For those of you that are book collectors and you're missing one of the books that you see in the back cover, please see Sue, see somebody outside on the break. We'll take care of you with a free book. If you want more, you can talk to Sue or Ann or somebody about that, and you'll figure out how to make that happen for you. You're also going to get some books from some of our speakers as well. Feedback forms. We're going to keep hitting those off and on throughout the course of the next 2.5 days. The feedback forms are incredibly important to us. We read every single line. We read every bit of the input, good or bad, and we make adjustments to make this a better program for you year after year after year. So thank you so much in advance for your feedback form. And then lastly, ringers, telephones. We're going to have plenty of breaks, so you'll be able to stay in touch. You'll be able to get your orders in or your bets in on the All-Star game, whatever you're doing. But you can leave it on. Just turn the ringer off if you would for me. If the ringer happens to ring, you know the deal. Tonight, communion at the bar. It is Sunday. You'll be responsible for buying drinks for everybody who comes up if your ringer goes off. Fair enough? I need full agreement. Yes. Excellent. All right. You want to connect? Here we are. In any way, shape, or form. You want to connect with us personally? Just search us, reach out. I love to see prom pictures. I love to see your kids graduating. I love to see when you get a new puppy. So feel free to hook me up. All right.